Happy July, crafty friend. It's me, Justine Dvorak, and I'm back with some more cards. You can see the stack in the corner there. I have a lot of cards from this month's clubs to show you. But today I'm going to start out with the Glimmer and the stencil that comes with the caboodle, and make a fun shaker card with some stitched elements, and then I'm going to finish off with a wax seal card, and then I'll show you a whole bunch of cards at the end here. So like I said, here's the Glimmer. It is so cute. I'm going to be popping pictures on the screen from the Spellbinders website of the clubs and just going through what they all are throughout the video as I make these 2 cards on camera today. And like I said, at the end I'll show you a whole bunch. So I'm starting out with this Glimmer. It's so cute, and it has the sentiment, wishing you joy. I love this one. I used it a ton of times. You'll see it throughout this video multiple times. Like I said, I loved it, and it has the ability to be stenciled. Now, I love non-traditional Christmas color cards, so I went ahead and did kind of like a blue, steel blue kind of teal color, and I used peacock feathers and crushed pistachio to kind of add some fun to the leaves here. And I am using the oxides, by the way. And then I have the embossing folder of the month. This one is called Hexy Snowflake. It is so pretty. You can see it on my light blue cardstock on the top red, or the top corner there. And then I am using pieces from the Stitch Club. You can see this beautiful card that has the bow there. There's also these little circles, so you can kind of see the circles that I have right by that peacock feathers there. It is kind of like a little line, so I added that to this card as well. I'll show you a few different examples of that at the end. And then I am using the stamp set of the month, which is perfect. It's all about Christmas sentiments. This one is called Christmas Magic Sentiments, and you can get coordinating dies with that if you like. I love this one because they're small enough to put on tags and large enough to be good on cards, if that makes any sense. And then I did go in with shaded lilac there. Like I said, I like non-traditional Christmas colors. I love purple Christmas cards. It's kind of my thing. Anyway, I did glimmer the little holly leaf there on the Glimmer cardstock, and then I did do some ink blending on there with the cardstock. So I do like that Glimmer specialty cardstock for that, although you can glimmer with other things. But look at that coordinating die. If you can see on the right top second leaf, the second leaf from the top there, there's a little circle, and that just shows you how, I don't know, how intricate the die is. I love that it doesn't just do the outline border of it. It really cuts through and gets kind of all the little details. So I love when dies do that. All right, I'm using my little Scout here. If you have your Scout, congratulations. If not, you can go ahead and pick it up. I will have that linked in the description, but it has been my new best friend for die cutting. I use base A, B, and then cutting plates C and C. So I just cut my paper here real quick, and it will fit right in my Scout. It's a nice size to have on your workspace. My other cutting machine is the Platinum Daddy, which is the 8.5. It's huge. I love that, especially for glimmering and for better pressing, because I can offset things. But having this little Scout has been a game changer in my craft room. Not to be too dramatic or anything. See, look at how nice that die cut out. Very cute. So I'll just put that to the side, and we will continue on with the card. Now, this shaker window is kind of my new favorite thing. I have discovered, not that I've made this up, but I've found a new fun way that I love to make shaker windows. So personally, I love the shaker windows from Waffle Flower, but look how fun this one is. And I use the Bayfair frames to make that. And I just used the 2 largest, or the first, no, I used the biggest rectangle from there that isn't the stamp, and just die cut that out with an A2 card, and then I have that center to use again, and it makes this really fun little shaker window. And then I just add some acetate and foam. But before I add my adorable embellishments from Buttons Galore and More, I'm using this little anti-static tool. I have found that this is really helpful for shaker cards, and I like this one because it doesn't leave it too dusty. It has this really fun clay. I will link that in the description as well. And my I was just crafting with some friends a couple weeks ago, and I did not even realize that you can pull up on that and the brushes stay nice. So the whole time I was sitting there twisting it and just fussing around, and she's like, you know, you can just pull it up, right? No, I did not know that, but I am thrilled that I know now. Anyway, these Buttons Galore and More embellishments are perfect for this card because they have big snowflakes in them. This one is called Frozen. And then I'm just grabbing from my bling basket. I almost called it the glimmer basket. The bling basket, and just grabbing some fun embellishments. I have these little pearls. I have some rhinestones, and they're nothing fancy, but they'll add a little zhuzh as we go here. Speaking of the clubs, we'll just keep it going with the BetterPress one. It's this really cute little car. You can add a pine tree in the back, or like a Christmas tree. And then there's Sentiments Merry Christmas and Delivering Cheer. And then there's also a bonus item for the Caboodle this month as well. You can get the Hello, Thank You, and Happy Birthday. And I use the Happy Birthday in my stitching video that will come out in a couple days, so stay tuned for that. I'm just going crazy with my embellishments here and just having a blast. I really love Christmas in July. It's a great way to start Christmas cards and kind of get them ready. There I am taking off the release tape, and I'll just pop that right on my card. Now you can see this beautiful embossing folder moment on the top corner there. That is the 3D embossing folder. It's called Pine Cones and Berries, and I loved this one. I would like to actually just press it out with some white cardstock and just color it for fun with some markers. I haven't done that yet, but I will. You'll see that in several cards at the end. Look how fun that is. Oh, love it. Anyway, and then the small die of the month is these beautiful ice skates with a lot of Christmas florals. So if you need Christmas florals, this is the one for you. I actually made a couple of these with my small die of the month video that will go up in a couple days. And I actually pulled from my game day collection to kind of add some spice to those ice skates. So I did some Christmas, but I also did a sporty one. So if you're interested in that, check it out in a couple days. And with that video, I'm also going to have the large die of the month, which is beautiful. Look at that. That has a birdhouse, it has 2 cardinals, lots of florals, and I made a card that was very similar to this one, and I made it in a 2 size card, and it is stunning. I chose on mine not to use an embellishment, just to keep it more of an art piece, and I probably will maybe frame it and use it for Christmas decorations because I think it's gorgeous. Anyway, I'm going to just add these right on top of my shaker window. Anytime you're using acetate and liquid glue, just be careful not to use too much, because if it smushes out, the acetate kind of likes to let it glide around and it kind of gets messy. So reverse tweezers for the win. But you know, the glue does dry clear, so things could be worse. This is a sparkly card. My goodness, I'm looking at it and yeah. Okay, and then the sentiment that I have here is from the stamp set that I talked about before, and I have been loving using white embossing powder with colored cardstock for all of my stamp sentiments. It just really pops to me. Now let's talk about the Stencil Club of the month. This one is so pretty. Look how nice that is. It has 5 stencils, and then it has a mask for the bow. I'll show you some cards at the end that I use that. It is just really pretty, and I went ahead and used some of Simon Hurley's Lunar Paste with one card. So that was kind of fun just to play around with that and just kind of spice it up a little bit. And it looks like a present. I think it would be so cute just to even pop that on some very simple wrapping, not use an envelope. And it reminds me a lot of the stitching die, so it's a great little pair for you. And then with the clubs, there's also the Wax Seal Club. So you can see here it is a beautiful snowflake. It's called Joyful Snowflake. I loved the wax bead color. So when you get the wax seal stamp, you get wax beads that go with it. And I got, or you will get, but I also got the pearl white. So it's kind of a pearly white, like the name says. It isn't a stark white, and it isn't as clear as the one that's called opal. So if you have the opal, which I love that one, I think you're gonna also like the pearl white. And you can see that on a couple cards at the end here, and it will be on my second card that I make. But let's just look at this shaker card. Oh, I love shaker cards. Anything interactive is just so fun to make. All right, let's get into card number 2. I have this really fun patterned paper that was from Spellbinders, and it is kind of like mixed media vibes. I really like it, and I'm going to frame it with some gold glitter cardstock. Again, this was a cutout frame from some of the Bayfair rectangle dies that have like the postage with it. So I've been using that a lot. The nesting dies are a perfect way to kind of stretch your specialty paper and cardstock by cutting out the centers. All right, I'm gonna go in with a couple die sets here. I'm using the Sealed Holiday Squiggles. I used the Snowflake because I thought that that looked really pretty with the wax seal. And then I also am using some just florals, and I went pink and purple because non-traditional Christmas colors, love that for me. I used the Sealed Blooming Stems, and I used the small and long little like paddle petals there. Paddle petals. I'm going to put my wax seal right onto my card front with some glue, and then you can see the 2 little pieces that I have cut there. Those are the short pieces, and I kind of like to do a trick where I cut them and then stretch them out so they will, I don't know the right word, but they kind of make it look like they're longer basically. And then these little embellishments here I made with some wax seal drops, and that will complete this card. So let me know your favorite. I'm going to show you a whole bunch now, so let me know your favorite. And then let me know, write it in the comments so I can, I'll know. Anyway, here's card number 3, Wishing You Joy. That one I did a little ink blending in the bottom and used some chunky jewels, not sentiments, jewels from my stash. I just love the gold flecks in them, and this foil is very, very pretty. This one was really fun to make as well. More glimmer. Like I said, I love, love, love the glimmer. I think I did find a good black cardstock for foiling. I have to order it still, but I'm now using up the rest of my lovely cardstock from my craft store. But if you know a good black cardstock that glimmers well, let me know. Ooh, look at this one. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. I glimmered the Glimmer Holly leaves, I think 3 times there, and then kind of cut them apart, and then did one with black, and then did Wishing You Joy. You can see the cardstock there is actually the center cardstock that I used for the wax seal card, so that frame would fit right over that card, if that makes sense. And then this one I used the stencil for, and then added a rectangle die and added some fun little poinsettias or poinsettias, however you want to say it, to the sides. Those ones I got at Hobby Lobby, and they've been living in my craft room for months, so I figured why not use them. The inks I used for that were Barn Door for the berries, Peeled Paint, and Rustic Wilderness for the leaves. And then for this one, I did not write down the colors for my Distress Oxides, but I went kind of pastel-y for this one. With the oxides, it is more of a muted color in my opinion, so you can kind of see the difference between ink and oxides between this card and my last one that I just showed you. But the bow is so cute. It's a 1-layer card, so if you like doing 1-layer cards, stencils are perfect for that. Here's one I made with some inks, and then I also used some of just the Simon Hurley Lunar Paste. You can see a little bit smushed out on the right side, but I figured it looks really good even though it has a little smush. It's a handmade card, it's not perfect, and that's alright with me. But I love how shiny the Lunar Paste is, and it is easy peasy to work with once you kind of play around with it a little while. Now this one is a purple Christmas card, and I used Shaded Lilac for the leaves and Wilted Violet for the berries. And then I think I used Aura for the glimmer. No, Spectrum maybe? And then I used some chunky gems for embellishing. I have the Arch dies that just came out last month to kind of frame it up. Oh, and there's that embossing folder that is just stunning. Here is some glimmer fun. This is the green and the red glimmer. By the way, this month with the Glimmer Club, you get a roll of Aura, which is the one that I used for the Wishing You Joy navy blue that's kind of on the top left there. What's on the holly is the glimmer color. But I love pulling from my stash and using all sorts of colors, so I use green and red on that one. And this one, I really went funky monkey with the background, and I'll give you a close-up look at the wax seal. I did a whole bunch of different wax seal mixing there and added some fun wax drops. It was just a joy to play around with this one and kind of get a little mixed media going. And then for the background on the embossing folder, I again used some ink blending. I don't remember what I was really doing there. I was just kind of playing around. And I added some Lunar Paste to the edges and just kind of made it funky. This Thanks So Much, a gift for you, thanks so much center is an older piece that I've had laying around in my craft room, and I wanted to use it for something wintry, so I used the Hexy Snowflakes to kind of map that background. Here's a close-up look at the BetterPress Plate. I have a BetterPress video that's going to come up in a couple days here, and I did something crazy to the card, so stay tuned for that. This one is a very simple but really fun Christmas card. I used some of the, what is that called? It's the paste, dimensional paste, to kind of beef up the snowy areas. And then this was just another take on the glimmer. I used the barn door and peeled paint on the berries, and then on the green I used, peeled paint and rustic wilderness on the berries, on the leaves, I'm so sorry, and then peeled paint on the berries. Now this was kind of funky. I used the wax seals on some tags. I know, kind of fun. Christmas tags are something that you need kind of in a pinch, so I went ahead and made these 3 little ladies with the wax seal. I did put a little piece of paper on the back of them just to give it a little more support, so when I'm writing the name it isn't too bumpy with the wax seal. And I of course added a whole bunch of embellishments just for funsies. I think it looks really striking to have a white gift bag and have some really fun tag on the outside. I think that just looks really cool. So here's a look at all of my projects. I have more videos coming up, so if you're interested, Make sure to subscribe and let me know your favorite in the comments. Like the video if you've been inspired by anything. If you have any questions on the clubs, please let me know. I always tell you that the Caboodle is the best value because you're getting, I think, 60% off of a discount from all the clubs. So if you're interested, make sure you sign up between either or before the end of the day on the 27th for the club that you would like, or it might come back but it might not. So yeah, that's just kind of how it works. If you have any questions, let me know. I do have a section in the description called Q&A, so make sure to check that out as well. That's a direct link to the Spellbinders website that has a lot of questions and answers about their clubs. But like I said, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in my next video. Stay tuned for more clubs coming your way.